Hey everyone, it's Suzanne. I'm back with another video, and this video is all the polishes that I wore in the month of March 2024. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here for a while, welcome back. If you've been here for a while somewhere, I will put up on the screen the time that the manicures start so you can skip my little rating scale. But if you're new here, I do rate all my manicures on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. They all are based on either song lyrics or album cover titles from musicians. So the first one is a 1, which is the worst. That gets a rating of hot dog flavored water, and that is an album title from, or a cover of an album from Limp Bizkit. Number 2 gets a rating of How Could You Do Somebody Like That, and that is a song by Boiler by Limp Bizkit. Number 3 is Cause Your Mouth's Writing Checks That Your Ass Can't Cash, which is a song Full Nelson by Limp Bizkit. Number 4 is That One Day I Will Get You in My Hands and I'll Play With You, and that is a song Play With Me by ICP. Excuse me, sorry about that. Number 5 is Here's What It Looks Like Being the Best, and that is a song called A Cut Above by Avery Watts. It's just something different that I do. So before we get into manicures, let me show you what is on my nails. So I kind of have like a little weird situation going on my nails, but I'll explain it in just a minute. One of the polishes I have on my nails is from Red Eyed Lacquer, and it is called Peer Pressure, and it's just a really pretty summery yellow cream. She produced it or made it last summer, so it's about a year old. Really pretty coloring. And the next one I have on my polish is from Dom Nail Polish, and this is Shimmer Storm. And this is, I don't know how good it's going to show up. It's kind of like a white polish, but it has like pink and black flakies, and it's got this really intense shimmer in there. I don't know, the lighting's kind of making it look kind of weird. The Red Eyed Lacquer was on my spring rack, but the Dom was not on my spring rack. But I saw Latanya from Lacquers to Lashes did like a little sneaky peek that Dom is going to be releasing some sibling polishes that are like that in different colorings, and they looked beautiful. They look so pretty, her little sneak peek that she did, and I thought there is going to be nothing worse than if I buy some of those polishes and I don't like them when I have an untried in my drawer. So I thought I'm going to pull that one to see if I like it before I purchase any of them. I'm on the fence about whether I like it or not. But what I did is kind of weird. I'm going to try to show you. On these 2 fingers, I have as an undie. I don't know if this is going to come off. I have as an undie. Maybe I'll put a picture of it up here. But I have this as an undie, this yellow one from Red Eyed Lacquer, because I wanted to see, you know, what I could layer this polish over, because I think this polish would look pretty over blue, over pink, over gray, over white, over yellow, over anything. And then these fingers, I just did just the polish alone without the yellow undie color. But that's what's on my nails. I'm on the fence still about whether if I 100% love it or not, to be honest with you. It is stunning in the bottle, but I don't know. I'm just on the fence about it, but I'll let you know about that later. So let's just get right in. You know, next month I'll give you my full deets on whether I love that or not. So, but let's get into March, because I am filming this in April, so that will be in April manis. So in March, I wore 33 manis with 47 polishes. I did wear a lot this month, so this might be a little bit longer video, so I don't know. Be prepared. So the first polish I wore, let me just grab them. The first polish I wore is this polish from Bluebird Lacquer, and it is called Glove at First Sight. And I don't know if you can see it there. It's kind of like, I think it's a brown base, even though it looks black. I think it's a brown base with these blue flakies. The flakies are stunning. In my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 3 coats of polish, glitter grabber, and a glossy top coat. This was easy removal because this is flakies. Look at that. It's stunning. I love the glow from the blue flakies. I'm not sure if I love this or not. At the time, my nails were shorter, and I did like it on my shorter nails. I'm not sure if I would love this on like my nails right now, the length they are. They're on kind of the longer side right now. So I'm not sure how I felt about this polish. Like I said, I really did like it on my shorter nails, but I'm not sure if I would love it on my longer nails. And I don't really want to just, I don't know, keep a polish just for when my nails are shorter to wear. That just seems kind of weird, but it might be pretty on longer nails. I just think this is type of polish I like on shorter nails myself. But I wound up rating this a 4 because one day I'll get you in my hands and I'll play with you because I do want to wear it again because the blue flakies, I know I'm saying I'm not sure how I feel about it, and then I rated it a 4 because when I look back at the pictures, I'm like, it is stunning. The blue flakies I remember were stunning, but I'm just not sure how I feel about that one. I know it kind of sounds like weird, like kind of like you're saying you like it and then you're saying you're not sure how you like it and then you're giving it a 4, but I don't know. If I could explain to you what was going on in my mind, if I understood it, then I could explain it to you, but I don't even understand it sometimes. So we'll just move right on. So next up, I wore one polish from Monarch Lacquer, and this is Third Eye Open, and this is a polish that I received in PR. And it is really, really pretty. It's like a purple with all these different glitters. It's really, really pretty. If you love purple, you'll like it. In my pictures, I have a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, glitter grabber, and a glossy top coat. I use clips to remove it. Really pretty is what I have in the notes. I'm not a super big purple fan. I do have a lot of purples in my collection because I think makers tend to make a lot of purples, but I'm not one of those purple people, you know. It's just not a fave color of mine, even though it is pretty, but just not a fave color of mine. So I rated this a 3 because your mouse rank checks that your ass can't cash. It is really, really a pretty, stunning polish. Like I said, if you like purple, you'll love that. Next up, I wore one polish from Victorian Varnish, and this is I Still Believe in You. And this is, it's a thermal. It goes into this yellow state. It's kind of like, I don't know if you want to call it like, I don't think this is even doing anything, putting my hand up here, but I guess we're going with it. It seems like I'm doing it. It's kind of like a maroonish color, and then it turns to this yellow. My pictures, I do have the thermal transition. It's really, really pretty. In my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, glitter grabber, and a glossy top coat. I use clips to remove it. I love the yellow. When it changed to the yellow, I love the yellow in it. I'm not a fan of this like burgundy reddish color myself, but I did love the yellow. But I do think I'm going to keep this in my collection for a while because it's just a very different, unique. I don't have anything like that. I did rate it a 3 though because your mouse rating checks that your ass can't cash because like I said, I love the yellow. The red I'm not a super fan of, but it's just very, very different polish. I don't have anything like that in my collection. Then next up, I wore another polish from Monarch Lacquer, and this is Daba Dee Daba Da, and this is a good one. In my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, glitter grabber, and a glossy top coat. Oh my gosh, this is so stunning. You can see this in the light. It is just so stunning. Like, it was pretty in indoor lighting, but when it would go outside, and I'm going to put both pictures because I have both. This is another polish I did get in PR, just to let you know, just to be fully, what do they call that? Honest. Can't think of the word right now, but basically it means honest, fully honest, so you know all the details about it. But when it was inside, it was pretty, but when it went outside and it hit the sun, whew, it was like the most perfect, beautiful shade of blue. It was a stunner. I did use clips to remove it because it's got a ton of glitters in it. I wound up rating this as 5. This is what it looks like being the best because, like I said, when it went outdoors, this was the most stunning, beautiful shade of blue I'd ever seen in my life. And FOMO did like a spring trio, and I was hard to pick which 2 I liked. This was one of the ones that was in the running, and then the green one was the other one. But that was a good one. Next up, I wore 2 polishes. I wore Look at Me Glow by Different Dimensions, which, oh my gosh, this light is so bright today. It's really hard to see. It's like a white Crelly with bright pink and yellow glitters. It does glow in the dark, I believe, too. And then I wore one from Zoya, which is called Jody, which is just a really pretty pink. Like, not really a, kind of like a mid-tone to baby pink polish. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hand today, but ignore me. Really, really pretty. In my pictures, you'll see regular base coat, 2 coats of Zoya, 3 coats of Different Dimensions, glitter grabber on the Different Dimensions, and then a glossy top coat. I did use clips to remove the Different Dimensions because it is glitter. The Zoya was beautiful, but not the best formula. I do remember that. It was kind of like streaky a little bit. The different dimensions was weird because it was glow in the dark. Um, so that makes it, I don't know if you've ever used glow in the dark. Sometimes they kind of get like a little bit thickier than most polishes because I guess it's something to do with the glow. You know, I'm not a maker, I don't know, but something to do with the glow in dark pigment. It makes them thicker. Um, I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I have white Crellies. I'm just looking down at my notes. I feel like I have white glitter Crellies that I like better. So I did say that I'm putting I'm putting the different dimensions in the giveaway. I'm keeping the Zoya. I did rate it a 3 because your mouse writing checks that your ass can't cash. I do think the pictures are really cute and the manicure turned out cute, but like I said, I just feel like I have white Crellies that I like better. So why deal with the little bit of it doesn't need thinner. It's not so thick it needs thinner or anything, but it just kind of has like, I don't even know if I should say a thicker consistency, but glow in the dark polishes just kind of have a different, at least in my experience, consistency to them. So I don't know. I just figure I have something better, so I might as well just put it in the giveaway. So next up, I wore one polish from Orly, and this is called Magic Moment. I got this at TJ Maxx. I was on the fence about whether I would like it at the time when I was buying it, but I'm like, Orly's amazing. You know, the formula is amazing. It's a purple with this really pretty blue shimmer in there. In my pictures, you'll see a purple blurring base coat, 2 coats of polish, and a glossy top coat. It was easy to remove. I did not care for this polish at all. It just wasn't for me, so I am putting this in the giveaway. I wound up rating it a 2. How could you do somebody like that? Because it's beautiful polish, but just not for me, so I'm just going to put that in the giveaway. Next up, I wore one polish from Zoya. I wore this polish called Crystal, and it's just kind of like a taupey nude, just a really pretty neutral. In my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, and a glossy top coat, easy removal, pretty neutral. I wound up rating it a 3 because your mouse writing checks that your ass can't cash, but it's just, you know, if you have to go somewhere where you can't be hotsy-totsy or like brighty, you know, it's just a more sophisticated, professional, I guess, neutral. Next up, I wore one, did I wear one polish? Yep, just one polish from Moo Signatures, and it is called Unicorn. And in my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, and a glossy top coat. This is easy removal. It's kind of like a blue, but it's got this like pinkish or golden shimmer in it. It was really pretty. I'm not sure. I know there's no Moo Signature polishes anymore, but if you know, did they change to another brand? I don't know. But I was really impressed with this polish. Really pretty. It had a blue to pink shimmer in it, which was stunning. I wound up rating it a 3 because your mouse writing checks that your ass can't cash. But if you know if this is, you know, if they've just changed brands and it's a different brand that I could be purchasing polishes from now, and I don't know, I would love to know, or if they just went completely out of business. But it is just a really pretty polish. This next manicure, I thought about not even putting this in here because it is a hot mess. It is a hot mess. It's an embarrassing hot mess. I didn't even wear it out, but I took it off my nails immediately, but I did take the picture of it real fast because it was my topper. I was, for my 2024 goals, I'm trying to do at least one topper a month. So it was my topper for the month. So I was like, and when I put it on the swatch wheel, it looked good. It looked good, but when I put it on my nails, I was like, it's a hot mess. And the very next day I was going somewhere and I was like, I can't be seen in this. so I took it off. I took the picture and I took it off and I repainted them. But it is a jelly. I don't know, maybe I need to go look up. I love jellies and I want to try to make like jelly sandwiches, but I don't know. I need to go look up like some inspiration for them because my brain obviously is not, isn't enough inspiration, I guess. So the first polish I wore is Honey Bun from Fair Maiden, and it's just their yellow jelly. Really pretty. And then I wore a topper from Loud Lacquer, Space Cadet, and it's a clear topper, but it's got like teal and white glitters in it. So I'm going to put the picture up here. It might already be up by now, but like I said, don't judge. It's a hot mess. I know it's a hot mess. Like I said, I didn't leave the house in it, but I wore these two together. And in my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of Honey Bun, 1 coat of Space Cadet, 1 coat of Honey Bun, 1 coat of Space Cadet is how I did to make it a jelly sandwich. Glitter grabber and glossy top coat. I do have a note. Need to look up jelly sandwich mayonnaise because do not know. Hot mess. I do have, I did have to use clips, or actually I didn't have to use clips for these because I took it off right away. So it just kind of just wiped, I took the picture and then it just wiped off with a paper towel. And then I just put a little bit of nail polish remover on there to make sure I got like all the little bits. But if you did wear this for a while, you would have to use clips because this has glitter. I did rate this a 1 hot dog flavored water. I have in my notes, it was a hot mess and it should get a 0, but I don't have a 0 on my system, but it was bad. It was bad. So next up, I wore 2 polishes. I wore this polish from Mooncat, which is called Neverland, which is just a really like springy green cream. And then I also wore this polish from Moonshine Manny, which is called It's My Duty. And it's just a really pretty spring green with these like, I don't know why my light is so strong today. It's got like, let me see, green, pink, and like peach glitters, and then like some type of like little white hollow or something in there. It's really, really pretty. In my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of Mooncat, 3 coats of the Moonshine Manny, glitter grabber on the Moonshine Manny, and a glossy top coat. I use clips to remove the Moonshine Manny because it does have glitters. I loved the Moonshine Manny. I loved it. I have in my notes that it had little white glitters in it, which created a great pond effect on the nails. It was so cute. This Manny was so cute. I wound up rating this a 5. This is what it looks like being the best because this was just a cute Manny. Can't wait to mess with those polishes again because they were just really, really cute. Okay. Next up, I wore 1 polish from Cleona Cosmetics, and this is I Want an Everlasting Gobstopper, and it is basically a silver polish with all these different, I'm not sure if they were flakies. Okay, it's flakies. It does say it's flakies. I was like, are they flakies or glitter? Different colored flakies in there. In my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, glitter grabber, and a glossy top coat. It says it's easy removal because it's flakies. Not for me. I'm putting it in the giveaway. I wound up rating it 2. How could you do somebody like that? Because I don't know. I feel like this is a polish that when I first got into indies, the old Suzanne would be like, oh my gosh, I love that polish. But the new Suzanne is like, not for me. So this one will go in the giveaway. It's a good formula. And it is flakies. I didn't need glitter grabber on it, but sometimes when I have flakies, I'll do a glitter grabber and glossy top coat too, because sometimes I do it for 2 reasons. Sometimes I'm unsure if it's a flaky or a glitter till I get it on my nails, and I'm like, I have the glitter grabber there anyway. And then 2, it kind of plumps it up and makes it more glossy to do the glitter grabber, because it's basically like, two coats of top coat. So, I'll use it sometimes. Okay. So next up, I think I did like a nail art on this. I wore 3 polishes. Yes, I did like a little nail art, a dot manicure. I wore 1 polish from China Glaze, and this is Gimme Sugar, and this is like a cantaloupe cream. This was in that spring collection, which was just like so amazing they did last year. And then I wore this polish from Fair Maiden, which is Key Lime Pine. It's just like a spring green. And then I wore another one from Fair Maiden, which is Lemon Ice, which is just like a pastel. I think these were like their pastel neon yellows. And in my pictures, you'll see, if I can get these held up, a regular base coat, 2 coats of China Glaze, 1 coat of both Fair Maidens, and a glossy top coat. Because I did this like as my main polish, and then I just did dots with these 2. It was easy removal, super, super cute, very, very Eastery. It wasn't my fave polish. If you don't have a dotting tool and you want to do some nail art, that's just super easy nail art to do. And I always think the dot manicures are super cute, but I love polka dots like on clothes or anything like that. I just love polka dots. So really, really cute. Eastery, like I said. I wound up rating it a 3 because your mouth's writing checks that your ass can't cash. But it was cute. I don't know why I didn't give it a 4, but it was cute. So next up, I wore 2 polishes. I wore this polish from KB Shimmer, All the Bright Moves, and it's like, it has ugly, I got this in a mystery, but it has ugly bottle syndrome, but it's fine. The color comes off fine, but it's like I don't know, like a sunshiny yellow, I guess. And then I wore this polish, Yellow Submarine from MLJ Lacquer. And in my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 3 coats of all the bright moves, 2 coats of Yellow Submarine, glitter grabber on Yellow Submarine, and a glossy top coat. I use clips to remove the Yellow Submarine because it is glitters. I love the color of the KB Shimmer, but I have that the formula was horrible. I was at 3 coats and it was still streaky, and 4 coats it started to get kind of thick, like too thick to wear. So I don't know. I didn't love either one of them. I'm putting them both in the giveaway. I wound up rating it a 1 hot dog flavored water because I wanted to love that KB Shimmer, but it's really bad. I mean, I hate to say that about KB Shimmer because I love their polishes, but that one is a no-go. It's bad. And I know yellows are kind of known to be bad, but it's bad. It's worse than, I'm not going to say it's the worst yellow I've ever used, but it's up there. Next up, I wore another polish that I got in PR. I wore the 3rd polish from FOMO Lacquer in their spring collection, and it is Minty Moss. And this is just a really pretty green. Oh my gosh, this is just, it's so pretty. I love this coloring of green, and it's got these glitters in it. And this is another one. This outside just went woo. You know, inside it was beautiful, but then you took it out on the side and you were like, woo, it's good. But in my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, glitter grabber, and a glossy top coat. I use clips to remove it. Like I said, this was just another stunner. I had a hard time deciding between if this was my favorite. I think in the video I wound up saying this was my favorite, but then when I look back at the pictures, I'm like, was the blue my favorite? I don't know. Both of them, it was hard to pick, but I wound up rating this a 5 because that's what it looks like being the best, because it's a stunner. Can't wait to wear that one again. Beautiful, beautiful polish. They killed it with that spring trio. All of them were beautiful. All of them really, really pretty. So next up, I wore one polish. This is another one that I got in PR. I was picked as a guest swatcher for this brand, and I don't know. I did a video on that, and I put that in the video where you can join on her Facebook and sign up to be a guest watcher, and she just picks at random. Or I don't know how she picks. I said she picks at random. I have no clue how she picks. She doesn't disclose that information, and since it's, you know, her giveaway, she can choose however she wants to choose, you know. But anyway, it was something I received in PR, and it's Wildflower. It's on, and in my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 3 coats of polish, and a glossy top coat. Easy removal, and this was very shifty, very pretty. This was another polish, like when it's like a taupe leaning base, and I find that with taupe and brown bases, sometimes some parts of your nails will look sheer, but they're not really sheer, I don't think. It's just the way the taupe or like light brown bases look. But when you could pull up this blue shimmer, like when you could pull that blue shimmer when you hit certain lights, it was stunning. It was stunning. I wound up rating this a 5 because this is what it looks like being the best, because this was a stunner. Like I said, it was pretty in normal lightings, very, very color shifting, but when you could get that, I think it's like an aqua blue to come out, it was like, woo, you were like mesmerized for a minute. So next up, I wore one polish from Glisten and Glow, and this is Piglet and Pooh Friends Forever, and it's just a really fun pink crelly, and it's got like pink glitters. It's got a lot of pink glitters and a few little purple glitters in there. And in my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, glitter grabber, glossy top coat. I use clips to remove because this is definitely glitters. It was a really, really cute polish. I wound up rating it a 4. That one day I'll get you in my hands and I'll play with you, because I can't wait to wear it again and see if there's something, you know, different ways I could wear it or something. I don't know. It's really cute on its own too, though. Okay. So next up, I wore 2 polishes. I wore this polish from Mooncat, Eternal Sunshine, and it's just like, it's really like a very, very light pastel-y, I guess it's supposed to be sunshine, but it doesn't look like what I would consider sunshine, but it's like a really light pastel yellow. And then I wore this from Great Lakes Lacquer's Strawberry Lemonade, and it's just really a really pale yellow, but it's got this intense, like pinkish, goldish, I guess it's like golden shimmer in it. It is really, really stunning. I wore these 2 together. I basically used the Mooncat as like an undie, and then I wore this over top of it. So in my pictures, you'll see regular base coat, 2 coats of Mooncat, 1 coat of Great Lakes Lacquer, and a glossy top coat. It was easy removal because it's just, you know, no glitters involved, easy removal. So pretty. It looked like honeydew is what I have in my notes. It was so glowy and so shimmery. I wound up rating this a 5 because this is what it looks like being the best. This was a stunning, stunning manicure. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Next up I wore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wore 5 polishes. I tried to do nail art again. I don't know. Sometimes I look at my nail art pictures and I think I should be banned from nail art. I mean, I don't know who allows me to do this, but so the first polish I wore is from Moonshine Manny, and it's my boyfriend's back, and it's a really light, it's from her Project Dupe It. It's an OPI Spider-Man polish or something. I don't know. I don't remember that polish, but it's like a really, really light gray, and I wore this over all my nails, and I tried to do like a French tip manicure, but like a horizontal. Is that what they call it? I don't know. That's what I'm calling it, but that might not be right. And all the rest of these are from Atomic. I have the Pastel Neon Green, which is just a pastel neon green polish. I wore the Pastel Neon Yellow one. I wore the Pastel Neon Melon, which is kind of like, it's a pink to me, but she has a pink in this collection that when you put this up against it, this looks like more like maybe like it's got a tint of red in it. I don't know. They're both pink, but the other one's like really pink. And then I wore the Pastel Neon Purple. And in my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat. I don't know if I'll be able to hold all these up. I will, but they won't look right, I don't think, but we'll go with it. A regular base coat, 2 coats of Moonshine Manny, and then just 1 coat of all the Atomics and a glossy top coat. I was trying to do like a triangle or a horizontal French tip. I've seen people do these. Like I said, I should be probably banned from nail art, but whatever. I attempt to do it twice this month, I guess, but normally hardly ever. But it was easy removal. I love the color of the Moonshine Manny, but it was not the best formula. And I have a lot of Moonshine Mannies, and I love Moonshine Mannies, but it just wasn't the best formula to work with. But once I got it on my nails, the color was so pretty that I think, and I don't think I have anything quite like this. You would think I would, but I don't think I do have anything of this kind. So I don't know if I should keep it or if not. I'm on the fence about it. I'm definitely keeping all the Atomics. The formula on those are amazing. They're beautiful polishes. But I did wind up rating that a 2. How could you do something like that? Because, you know, like I said, I don't know if I should be doing nail art. I should probably be banned for it. Banned from it. So next up, I wore 2 polishes. I wore this On the Boardwalk from Red Eyed Lacquer, which is just a really pretty, like, turquoisey blue, like robin's egg baby blue, like robin's egg maybe blue cream that she did over the summer, last summer. Really, really pretty. And then I wore this from Noodles Nail Polish, which is for Crying Out Cloud, which is a clear base. It's supposed to be a topper, but I saw people wear it on her website just plain, so I wore it plain, and I really liked it. But it's a clear base topper, and it has like turquoise, white, and silver glitters in it. Really, really pretty. In my pictures, you'll see regular base coat on the red-eyed lacquer. I did wind up using a blurring base coat on the Noodles I want to say I did like a pink blurring base coat. So it would kind of like mimic more of my nail, but kind of cover up some of my stains on my nail and not show. I don't mind a nail line if, I've talked about this before, I don't mind a nail line if the polish is supposed to be sheer. Now, if it's supposed to be opaque and it shows a nail line, I'm not a huge fan. I know that's kind of like, might not make sense, but so I put the pink blurring base coat on, 1, to hide my stains, and 2, just to kind of give it just like a little bit of not so much sheerness, if that makes sense. But so you'll see a regular base coat on the red-eyed, a pink blurring base coat on the Noodles, 3 coats of red-eyed, 2 coats of noodles, glitter grabber on the noodles, glossy top coat. I use clips to remove the noodles because it is heavily glittered. This manicure was so cute. I love this manicure. I just thought it was so cute. I wound up rating this a 4, that one day I'll get you in my hands and I'll play with you because I just wanted to wear this. Again, I'm going to have to get that noodles in my hands and wear it by itself. Just really, really pretty. Next up, I wore one polish. I wore one polish from Night Owl Lacquer, and it is called Delightful, and it's just a really pretty lime green or lighter green shimmer polish. Really, really pretty. I got this in a mystery. In my pictures, you'll see a green blurry base coat, 2 coats of polish, and a glossy top coat. It was easy to remove. In my notes, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I got it in a mystery. It's pretty, but I feel like I have greens that I like better than this. So I'm on the fence about it, but I think I will put this in a giveaway. I wound up rating it a 2. How could you do something like that? Like I said, it's pretty. It's really, really pretty, but I just feel like I have greens that I like better than this. So why keep it? My collection is, it's huge. So like I said before in another video, anything could, get you nixed out of it. And it's just, I have stuff better than that. I think I like better than that. So next up, I wore one polish. I wore this polish from Glam Polish, and it is Beach Day Barbie. And in my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, glitter grabber, and a glossy top coat. It's kind of like a really light pastel yellow with all these different glitters. There's like blue, orange, pink, purple. Just really, really cute, fun, crelly. I use clips to remove it. Like I said, really cute. I wound up rating it a 3 because your mouse writing checks that your ass can't cash. It got that rating because I thought I would love this because, like, looking at the bottle, I was like, that's my type of polish. But it was cute, but it wasn't my favorite on my nails, so I gave that a 3. Next up, I did wear one polish. I was like, what's this big note I have in here? But I wore one polish from Black Dahlia Lacquer, and it is called My Oh My, and it's kind of like a periwinkle blue coloring with like glitters in there. Okay, so in my pictures, I have 2 coats. I wore a blurring base coat, not that it needed this, of Fog by Polish for Days, and it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen that blurring base coat, but it's gray, but it's like, I wanted like a light gray blurring base coat. So that's what I'm on the hunt for, but this one's really dark. Like, it could just be worn as a standalone polish. But I wore that. I wore 2 coats of the Fog, 1 coat of polish, glitter grabber, and glossy top coat. I have that it's easy removal. This does have reflective glitters in it. I have its easy removal. I think it's because I only wore 1 coat of it, so I didn't have to use clips, and because it was on that Fog from Polish for Days, it came off easier. I don't know, because it does have reflective glitters in it. I didn't have to use clips to remove it. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I wound up rating it a 2. How could you do somebody like that? I think the pictures are pretty when I look back at it. I got this in new from Polish Gamers in a mystery. They had a mystery bag, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll get it. So I might put this in the giveaway, but I'm not sure. I think it's like it's like different, it's like got this big bottle. So I don't know. I might just throw this in an extra as somebody's, even though it's a new polish, in an extra giveaway, because I'm not sure like if I can fit all my polishes I give away in my little envelopes, unless I buy a bigger envelope for this one, because he's a little bit longer than other polishes. So I might just kind of put him like just wherever he fits and just give him to whoever, because I don't love him. I don't know. I know it's horrible, but I don't love him. So next up, I wore one polish from Zoya, and this is called Birch, and it is kind of like, I don't know, like a purple, like a mauve with like a little bit of purple in it, or like a brownish. In the bottle, I can't remember what my pictures look like. It looks like it has like a purple tint to it. But in my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, glossy top coat, easy removal, pretty neutral. I must not have liked it though, because I wound up rating it a 2. How could you do somebody like that? But I don't have anything about like giving it away or anything, but I don't know. It's just pretty neutral. So we're going into bucket number 2. I don't have too many more in this bucket. So let me get situated so we can do bucket number 2. Okay, so next up, I wore one polish. Okay, I see how I have it organized. Frontierland from Rogue Lacquer, and this is my Imagineering, Imagineering collection she does. That is my favorite from Rogue, but this is like a weird. This came out in like a 4-piece collection, and I knew I was unsure about this polish. I loved all the other 3, but it wasn't that much more to just go on and get all 4. So I was like, let's get all 4, and then I can put it in the giveaway. But this is like kind of like a corally orange base with the glow of these flakies are like stunning. I don't know if it's going to pick that up, but the glow on these flakies, they're like, it's got like a pink glow to it that is like stunning, but the base color wasn't for me. In my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, and a glossy top coat. I don't love the base color, not for me. Very pretty. Putting it in the giveaway. I want to bring it too. How could you do somebody like this? If it was more pinkish, I would like it, or more orangey, I would probably like it, but it's kind of like that weird, I mean, not that it's weird, but I guess to me, I'm saying it's weird, like a corally, just not for me. Just not for me. Let's just leave it at that. So next up, I wore 2 polishes. I wore this polish from Orly. This is November Fog, and it's like a really pretty dusty, lighter purple cream. I got this at TJ Maxx. Love it, love it, love it. And then I wore this polish from Bluebird, which is neither here nor there, and it's kind of like, it's got blue flakies, pink flakies, yeah, flakies, and like silver flakies in there in this purple base. I wore these 2 together, and in my pictures you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of both polishes, and a glossy top coat. Easy removal. I really thought this manicure was super cute, super fun. I wound up rating it a 3, because your mouse writing checks that your ass can't cash, just because I don't think it deserved a 4 rating, but it was really a cute manicure. Next up, I wore another polish from Bluebird Lacquer, and this is called Hair Raising Adventure, and this is kind of like a lighter blue, like maybe like a seafoam blue, and it's got like really pretty blue glowy flakes in here and like purple flakies. In my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, and a glossy top coat. I do have that I had a slight scrubbing with this one, and I didn't have issues with the other one, even though they came out of the same, I think they're the same formula, so I don't know why this one had more scrubbing, just maybe the type of flakes that were used in it. I didn't love this one. I don't love that type of base coloring, so I am putting this one in the giveaway. I wound up rating it a 2. How could you do somebody like that? I don't really care for any like sea foamy, greenish, bluish colors. I just don't really like those, so I did put that one in the giveaway. Next up, I wore one polish from Mooncat, which is Poison Berry. This is a stunner. Stunner. In my picture, I have on a purple blurring base coat, 2 coats of polish, and a glossy top coat. It was easy to remove. It is stunning and glowy. So pretty. I loved it. I wound up rating this a 5. This is what it looks like being the best, because that was just a stunning polish. Next up, I wore 2 polishes. They're both from Turtle Tootsie. I wore Hatchling number 23, which is like, kind of like this sagey green crelly with like pink glitters, blue glitters, I don't know, just a bunch of different little colored glitters in there. And then I wore Hatchling number 11, which is, I don't know what kind of yellow you would describe this, like a sunshine yellow, I guess, maybe with like green glitters and stuff in that. And I wore them together, and this brand I do know is now Hearts and Promises. But I bought these new off their website pretty cheap one time. I think she just had like some leftover ones. Once she moved to Hearts and Promises, she had some leftover Turtle Tootsies that she was trying to get rid of. I wore these together. In my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, and a glossy top coat. I did use clips to remove it because they do have glitters. I didn't love either one of these. I'm putting them both in the giveaway. I wound up rating the manicure a 1. Hot dog flavored water just wasn't for me. I thought I would like them, but I just didn't. I don't know. There's no real reason why I didn't like them, so putting those in the giveaway. Next up, I wore 1 polish from the Dawn Diva, and this is Ganbai. I don't know how you say it, Ganbai or something like that. And it is basically like a pink crelly with like blue flakies and pink flakies, and it's got shimmer in there that is just, it's really, really pretty. In my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 3 coats of polish, glitter grabber, and glossy top coat. I do think that I would have liked this. I have a note. I would have liked this better in 2 coats, but I had one tiny spot that wasn't opaque. So I went in with a 3rd coat, but I wished I would have just left it at 2 because I think it would have looked better at 2. But I guess I wanted to fix that little opaque spot, and that led me to down the 3 coat, which I'm okay with doing 3 coats, but I do think I would have liked this polish in 2 better. I used clips to remove it. I have that it was so cute. I wound up rating it a 3 because your mouse writing checks that your ass can't cash. Super cute polish. Okay, next up, I wore one polish from Fair Maiden, and it is You Can Call Me Green Bean. And in my pictures, you'll see a green blurring base coat, 2 coats of polish, and a glossy top coat. It was easy to remove because it was flakies. I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's just a weird green coloring. It's like so light. Maybe it would be okay, with an undie underneath it. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I'm like, should I keep it? Should I not? I want to rating it a 2. How could you do somebody like that? So you could see this one in a giveaway. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it right now. But pretty, but I just didn't love the base coloring on me, I guess. So I don't have too many more. So next up, I wore one polish. I wore this Twiggy from Whimsical Nail Polish by Pam. And in my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, glitter grabber, and a glossy top coat. It's basically a white crelly with purple, yellow, pink, and blue glitters in it, I think, or all the glitters, just a multitude of glitters. So cute. So cute. I did use clips to remove it. Just a beautiful white, no, I guess it wouldn't really be beautiful, but just a really cute white crelly. Like I said, I did use clips to remove. So stinking cute. I wound up rating this a 4, that one day I'll get you in my hands and I'll play with you because can't wait to wear it again. It's a nice formula. Super cute. Next up, I wore one polish from Noodles Nail Polish, and this is Been There, Sun That, and it's kind of like a yellow crelly with like pink glitters. It was so cute on the nails. In my pictures, you'll see regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, and a glossy top coat. I did use clips to remove it because it does have glitters, but it was really cute. I wound up rating it a 3 because your mouse writing checks that your ass can't cash, but really cute. Okay, so then my last manicure that I wore from March, I wore one polish. I wore this polish from Dreamland Lacquer, and it is Shake Your Shamrock. In my pictures, you'll see a regular base coat, 2 coats of polish, and a glossy top coat. Now, this is like that, I think it's I think they called this, if I remember right, a pastel bleached neon green cream with an intense blue shimmer. This is the polish everyone raved about. So when I was painting it, I put it on my nails. I looked down. I was like, I don't get what the big woohoo about this was. I don't get it. It's pretty. It's pretty, but I don't get what the big woohoo about this is. Then I got up and I wore it in different lighting, like being at the school, like fluorescent lighting, and then like being outside. I was like, okay, I see what the hype is. I see why everyone loves this polish. It was like at certain, I know it kind of seems like, oh my gosh, don't be so dramatic about nails, but seriously, at certain lighting, it would take your breath away. It was like breathtaking. It was really beautiful, really pretty. It was easy removal because it's nothing's in it. I wound up rating it a 5 because this is what it looks like being the best, because like I said, when I first put it on, I was like, it's pretty, but nothing to be like writing everyone in the world about like what was going on with it. But then I got it in different lights and I was like, okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Stunner. So I wound up rating that a 5. This is what it looks like being the best. So that is all the manicures I wore. And I just started this just to make my videos longer. I started this little extra little segment I do at the end where I rate my or pick my top 3 manis of the month, and they're in no particular order. So the first one I picked was the Dreamland Shake Your Shamrock. Just like I said, it was breathtakingly stunning, 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 beautiful polish. This month I had so many manicures because there was so many good ones, but that's that one. And then the next one I picked was the one with Mooncat Eternal Sunshine and the Great Lakes Lacquer Strawberry Lemonade. This had such a pretty shimmery glow to it that was just like, like it was another breathtaking manicure. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then the next one I picked it had another Mooncat in it. Neverland by Mooncat and this Moonshine Mani. It's My Duty. I just thought this was so cute. I have a couple that I was like, oh, I should have picked them over this one because this was just kind of a cutesy manicure, but it was still my favorite. When I look back at the pictures, I'm like, those 3 I just showed, or this one and the other 2, those were my favorites. They just were. But like I said, this month was very, very difficult to pick my favorites because I had so many good manicures, and I had a lot of manicures this month. I think I painted my nails every night. I think I painted them every night. No, I wore that Mooncat 2 nights. I remember I wore Mooncat 2 nights. So I don't know how I got that many manicures in. I do know I had that hot mess that I didn't wind up wearing, but because I know I had more manicures than there was days of the month. So I'm not sure how that happened, but it did happen. Because I know I wore the Mooncat twice or 2 days. And I took the hot mess jello jelly sandwich off. So I don't know how I did it, but I did have a lot of manicure, so it was hard to pick. So that's all. If you wore anything great in March, or is that March? Yeah, because we're in April now. If you wore anything great in March, let me know what your favorite manicures were. Because I'd love to see what you all wear. And if you've been subscribed to my channel for a long time, I thank you so much. If you're new, I thank you too. I thank anyone that subscribes, who sits and listens to me ramble on for 46 minutes we're at right now about nail polish. I mean, I do it with other people, so I understand, but I really do just appreciate everyone for watching my channel and subscribing to my videos. It means a lot to me. It really, really does. It really, really do. It really, really does. And I thank all of you. If you like these type of videos, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do nail content all the time, and I also do monthly giveaways of nail polish to subscribers. Remember to comment down below if you had any standout manicures in March, because I'd love to know. I hope everyone has a great day. Remember, keep polishing. Bye.